All right, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. Today we are filming my long-awaited yearly makeup inventory. We have good numbers this year, which I'm really excited about. So let's get into it. For those of you who know, I've been on a no-buy for quite a long time. I have quite a few categories of my makeup collection that are like super inflated. So those are the ones that we're really trying to bring down. There are a handful of categories that I really have like a hold on, that I have like one or two things in products in my collection. So yeah, we'll go through and we'll talk about it. A couple of those have like maybe grown by one or two, but I'm not necessarily worried about any of those, honestly. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I will be looking down on my computer every now and then. I have it right here. So yeah, just because I'm not gonna be able to memorize all these numbers. I will also hopefully maybe put the numbers, this way maybe, the numbers over here, and we'll go through last year and then this year. I think what I'll also have in there, and I'll tell you like the differences between the 2 years, if they've gone up or down. And then I think I'll also have the numbers on there from 2020, which is the first year that I did my number category like I've done, like I'm doing currently, which is counting each individual pan. So like if I have eyeshadow palette, I'm not counting the whole palette as one item, I'm counting each individual pan in there. I found it's just helped me whenever the numbers do go down when I'm working on the palette. I'm a slow panner anyways, but I found that counting those individual pans is a lot more motivating than waiting years and years and years for a palette to like be moved through the collection. And it definitely helps me not just go for like the quote unquote easier products, I guess, where it would be like just a single eyeshadow or a single blush or whatever. But if I have like a whole face palette and I'm counting it as more than one product because there's more than one product in there, yeah, it just is more motivating to move through those products and not ignore those products. So all that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the numbers. Like I said, I will have like the numbers from 2020 on the screen just so you can see like where they were, but I won't be going through those numbers like all the way through. So my first category is nail polish. Now, last year I had 39 nail polishes. I still have 39 nail polishes. I don't know if I miscounted last year or what, or if I've really not moved through that many polishes, which is crazy. I think for a full year. However, it could be so. I'm not really sure. But I know I've not brought any other new polishes into my collection. So like I said, I either miscounted or have like really been stuck on all my nail polishes this past year, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, right now I don't have my nails done. So it makes sense. I've been like definitely slacking on the nail polish side of things, just in terms of like moving through. I've not like gotten my nails done anywhere. I've just kind of haven't been wearing as much nail polish as like consistently. So yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. It's not grown, so that's good. My goal was to get 4 products out. I didn't hit that goal. I'm going to keep that goal for next year still, to try and do 4 products. Okay, the next category is my face primer. I had one last year. I currently still have one. It's a different one, but it's still one nevertheless. So happy about that. That's a category that I have under control and it's not going to change. Next is foundation. So last year I had 3. This year I have 4. This is not usually like a category that's crazy for me. Normally I have like 1 or 2. However, I do have like one shade that's a really, really dark shade that I'm kind of using to like mix, and it's like a sample size. I also got a sample size from like a no-buy situation. They had like a pack of no-buy products to like take on if you wanted it. So I ended up actually inheriting basically another sample size of like a foundation that I really like. Whenever I do my collection video, I'll go ahead and show you and talk about it. I actually really like the foundation. It's what I'm wearing right now too. But yeah, it's actually great because I'm using that darker foundation to mix, because that foundation is a really, really light, at least for me right now. So we're working through it. Everything's good. And then I also still have like my It Cosmetics CC cream, matte CC cream, and then my Estee Lauder Double Wear, which those two are kind of like, I've just kind of had those be like my staples. So I think I'm just going to continue with those two. I have the matte CC cream it's not a light coverage at all, but it's a lighter coverage kind of. And then, or at least like, I don't know, you can move a little bit more with it. It has like SPF in it, yeah. And then the Double Wear is like a nice like full coverage, and it's just like a really pretty kind of satin look to it. So those are my go-to currently. Okay, next I have concealer. I had 2 last year. That was a fine number. Now I have 1. Actually, honestly, like I have it, but there's like no product left. I'm trying to hold out for the Sephora sale. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to, but yeah, I'm trying to hold out for the Sephora sale to like repurchase more. But yeah, so basically I have 1. That being said, obviously between this year and last year, we went down 1, so that's good. Oh, and the foundation, we went up 1. So it is what it is on that. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. Okay, next is powder. Last year I had 2, this year I have 2, no real movement there. I've gone through a powder but repurchased the same one, so yeah, no news there, which is good news. Last year for brows, I had 4 products. This year I still have 4 products. I think it's gonna be that way for quite a long while. It's been that way for quite a long while. I have a little brow palette that has 3 brow shades in it, and as I'm like working through and using it, I have like a lighter shade and a darker shade that I kind of mixed together. So there is significant pan in there, but it's been years that I've been working on that. So it's not going to change for years and years unless the product goes bad. And then I have a gel type of brow product that I like to use as well. So I basically have like a powder product and a gel product. Obviously the powder product though, there's quite a few products in there for the palette, for it being a palette. But yeah, still working through it. Nothing's really changed with that. Okay, next is blush. Last year I had 24. This year I still have 24. I am fine with it. I'm really close. I have my Project 100 pan, which will be coming up in the channel soon, if it's not up already, and you will see that I didn't quite finish my one blush that I've been working on, but I'm really close. I did finish up my little cream blush, but I've refilled it, so I'm not necessarily counting it. I will count it in my Project 100 pan, but I'm not necessarily counting it in my inventory as like new products used up. They are like reflected later on because I use lipsticks and cream highlighters to create that, so you will see like other categories with significant change in it. So yeah, I mean, it's all used together, it's fine, but at least in the blush category right now, I still have 24 blushes. There's been no change. I'm hoping I have on here that my next year goal is to finish 3. I doubt I will. I'm sure I'll just get 1, maybe 1.5. 2 would be lovely, but we'll see. Yeah, still though, I will still hope and fingers crossed for 3. Okay, so next is gonna be my bronzer category. So last year I had 8, this year I have 7, so we went down 1, and my goal was to go down 1, and I did, which is very exciting. We're gonna continue that goal still for taking away 1 each year. That would be lovely. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to it being a like really great category in terms of it just moving through the product. And yeah, although I will say right now, I have a couple of samples, like deluxe size sample type products that I'm moving through. So I think those will be a lot easier to like quicker and easier to move through. But I know in my collection, I have a handful of like blushes or bronzers that are pretty massive in size. So while we're doing at this pace right now, we had moved through 1 a year. I don't think we'll continue that. I'm sure like once I get to those bigger products and start panning those, it'll be a lot harder to move through those. Okay, next is gonna be our highlighter category. Last year I had 12, this year I have 9, which means we used up 3 highlighters. And my goal was actually to use up 3 highlighters, so that's a massive goal that we did hit, which is great. I'm gonna continue that goal. However, I have some cream highlighters that I've used up, so that's where I think a lot of like the bigger numbers have like kind of come from, in terms of using 3 highlighters in a year. That's massive. And I know that I was panning one highlighter and like I got pretty far into it, but I did drop it and it like completely shattered and got all over the floor. So I don't see this as a trend continuing for next year, but I will keep my goal of still using up 3 highlighters. However, I think the following year that might have to change that goal because I don't see it continuing. Okay, next we have my eyeshadow primer. Last year I had one, this year I have one. I moved through, it's a different primer, but move through it. It was like the Urban Decay original eyeshadow primer. Now it's the Urban Decay anti-aging eyeshadow primer. So still kind of the same primer, but actually a different product itself. Mascara. So last year I had one. This year I have 3. So that means I went up 2, which honestly is totally fine. Last year during the Sephora sale for the Christmas time, I bought their like sample set and of mascaras, which I think include like 5 mascaras, and then you can like there's like a ticket that you can redeem for like one mascara, one full-size mascara. So I've used up a handful of them already. I'm still working like through obviously 3 left, and then I'll go ahead and redeem that little ticket. And yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm moving through my mascara, everything's great, I'm not worried about it. Obviously we went up 3, but it's an easy category. In fact, like the one that I'm using right now, I think is pretty close to being on its last legs. So I think we'll get down to 2 in no time, which will be fine. And then my eyeliner, last year I had one, this year I still have one, still moving through my last eyeliner. I really want to have no eyeliners in my collection, mainly because the way I use eyeliners, I don't like wing it out or do any like fun, inner rim type eyeshadow or eyeliner stuff. I literally just like line my upper lash line like on top of the lid, not inside the lid, or on the inner rim of it. So I can do that with shadow. And the next category is eyeshadow, which you'll see, like I really, really need to move through my eyeshadow. So the sooner I can get that eyeliner to a no category, the better. That would be lovely. So my eyeshadows. We have a pretty successful year at this so far, actually. I have a huge number for eyeshadows, but considering how much I've used up, like I'm a very slow panner, and we've used up quite a number of eyeshadows in 1 year, which again, maybe I'm counting wrong. That's always like a possibility, especially when we have like really these higher numbers. Anything past double digit, it's like, okay, yeah, we can potentially make mistakes with counting. But last year I had 375 eyeshadows. Again, those are individual pans and eyeshadow palettes, as well as singles and my pigments. So all of those together, 375, which is a lot. This year we have 363. So we got rid of 12 eyeshadows, which is massive and wild, and not something that I thought we would do at all. My goal was to hit 10, and we got rid of 12, which is crazy. I think I'm still gonna keep it as like getting rid of 10 again. Again, I'm just kind of working my way through my eyeshadows. I have my pan, that palette that I'm working on. I have a Project 100 pan or Project pan and everything, where I'm hitting pan in all my eyeshadows, like in a certain palette or whatever. And then I sometimes will move those into my Project 100 uses. So I'll hit 100 uses in a palette that already had pan and everything. And then I think I'm gonna move that to my pan that palette too. So, I'm working my way on all my, not all, but a majority of my eyeshadows. I also have a Project 20 uses. I just feel like, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, but I feel like the way I'm panning right now is so just working for me. Like I said, I'm a slow panner anyways, but I have different stages of panning, which again, it's working for me with how big my collection is I have like usage pan, where I'm just trying to like use up or use something so many times just to kind of touch it and like, keep my feel open on my collection. And then I have pan like projects where I'm just trying to hit pan, so it's not necessarily like completely finishing it from start to finish, but like just getting some progress on it. And then I have projects where I'm like actually trying to completely use it up and move it out. And obviously too, like I said, some of the things that I'm like just getting uses on or just hitting a little bit of progress, I may be doing that and then putting them away. And then I have something when I want to go ahead and start like actually officially being like, okay, I'm trying to use this up. I have stuff that I've already worked on and it's not as like laborious to do it. I mean, granted, I do have like a palette in there that I basically started from scratch panning, trying to finish it up. So it's not foolproof, but I have some like eyeshadows and some products in play where I can kind of, I don't know, just get a nice like amount of usage on my collection. A decent. Now I'm not perfect. There are plenty of eyeshadows that I haven't touched in a while, but yeah, but I'm able to play around a little bit, but then also get use on things and use up, which I think goes to show using up 12 eyeshadows in a year is massive, is a really big deal. Again, I don't know how I did it. I probably miscounted something, but I mean, regardless, I definitely think that we've got at least 10 eyeshadows that we've used up. Okay, next category, we have lip liner. Last year we had 9, this year we still have 9. We're really close-ish on 1, so, you know, I think there'll be 1 gone for next year. But yeah, didn't hit the goal. We wanted 1 for next year, and now we're still gonna keep that goal. Still gonna try and get through 1. Lip gloss, we had 7, now we have 5. We went down 2 lip glosses, which is so great, so amazing. I love lip gloss. I didn't think I was like a lip gloss girl, but I think I'm a lip gloss girl, which is crazy. Next year, I wanna definitely, again, just move at least through 1. We'll see, we'll probably move through 2, honestly. Well, maybe, depending on how quickly I can, you know, like I said, move through things. I have been like kind of not wearing as much makeup as possible or as usual, so yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Okay, so last year for lipstick we had 29 and now we have 27. We went down to 2. Part of that was I had a lipstick that I was really close to finishing up, that I went ahead and used to make the cream blush. So I think we used up 1 in terms of actually like on the lips, but then 1 of them that I'm using for my cream blush, it's, you know, all going together. So yeah, used up 2, which is great because lipsticks can go bad quickly. So yeah, we want to use them up as quickly as possible. Again, I think for next year, the goal will be to use up 2, and it was this year and we hit that goal, which is great. The last one is our setting spray. Last year we had 1. This year we still have 1. I'm gonna try to keep it the same. I just use the MAC Fix Plus, and I'm not really even setting my face anymore like I used to. What I'm doing with it is that's what I use to like wet my eyeshadow brush for whenever I want to, you know, have a really like opaque shimmery shadow. And yeah, it's going good. It means that I'm not going through it as quickly either. So yeah, we're doing good. Okay, for the total number. Last year, this is a big number, it's so exciting. First of all, the goal was to use up like 20 products because last year we had 519 products, individual products, and I was like, it'd be so good to get past 500 and to get into the 400 number. This year we have 498, which means that we surpassed that by 1. Again, probably miscounted something, but still really exciting that we used up 21 products, at least according to the numbers. Such a big deal. So big, so big. I love it so much. And we used up even a little bit more because there were some categories like the foundation and the mascara that I've added some categories to, or added some numbers to, which isn't too bad. But overall, we have 498 products. That is still a really big number. It's hard to like fully celebrate, but like again, thinking back to 2020, I had 617, and last year I had 519, and now I have 498. We're slowly but surely just dwindling those numbers down and keeping the categories that are small, which is a feat within itself. So yeah, so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, there are like a couple more numbers. Sorry for all the number talk, but there are a couple more numbers that are like notable, and that's gonna be the pans in my collection. So we have the pans in eyeshadow. Last year we had 19, which meant that percentage-wise we had 5%, 5.06%. This year we still have 19, but because we've gone down in our eyeshadows, that meant our pan percentage went up a little bit. So now we are at 5.2%. So, you know, we're working our way, we're doing our thing. Pans, I love to see pans because it means, like I said, I'm using a handful of products and making dents in there, but I also am like so down with it just being like staying the same in number, and while also like using up eyeshadows, because that clearly means that like we are making progress and like things are not just hitting pan and then being put away, but hitting pan and then using up, which is great. That's the end goal for all of it. I will say too, like for my eyeshadows, it's gonna be a little bit weird or different because obviously like I have pigments that don't have pans in them, so whatever. I have like a couple of cream shadows that aren't gonna have pan, and I'm counting like all my eyeshadows. I'm not like separating those out, so maybe it's a little deceiving, but I'm just not gonna be too worried about those. So yeah, either way though, so exciting that we did go up a little bit in percentage. And then just in terms of pans in all of my collection, I don't do the percentage on it because there's like, we get really into it where it's like our primer won't have pan, our foundation won't have, so I don't even like worry about that. But just in terms of like all the collection, last year we had 24 pans. This year in 2024, we have 23 pans. So again, it just means that we're moving through product and getting some usage and hitting some goals on the pan. So yeah, very exciting stuff. Very cool. Oh, okay. So that's everything. I'm trying to think how to finish this, but I'm hoping to move through another 20 products next year. Hopefully more. There's always the hope for more, but I think minimum would be great to move through 20 more products, which would mean that would be at 478 products, which is great. I mean, it'll be a long time before we actually hit that milestone, the next milestone of getting less than 300 products, but in the collection, but you know, we're still gonna chip away at everything. It's still very much a long process. I'm trying to remember, I think eventually I would love to just have like 100 products. And I mean, even that sounds still like so much, but if you think about like, if you have an eyeshadow palette that has 12 eyeshadows in it, I mean, that's quite a lot. And considering there's all these categories, including like nail polish, like I have all of that in here too. Some of those categories I'm fine with having a higher number. Like I'm not gonna have necessarily 2 eyeshadows only in my collection. I'm not sure what the number is of like the goal number, but I know that when I get there, I'll know what it is. I'll know that like this feels good or feels right. So yeah, we're still like whittling away and working through it. And I think that's it for the video. We're still going through it. Let me know if y'all have an inventory. Please let me know what your inventory is. Put down those numbers down below. I love reading it and hearing about it. No worries if your like collection is like way more or way less. It's just a matter of like if you're happy with your collection, and even happy in like relativity in your collection. Like right now, I'm not necessarily happy with these numbers. I would love it to be like way less. But again, being like proud that I started this journey because I had too many products, in my opinion. And then I've slowly been making progress. I'm just so happy with this. And it is really nice to nail down those numbers and be able to see like, because I think we can all justify like all the different colors. Like it's just so fun to see, but it's just so nice to like, yeah, just see it numerically and really like for what it is of like how many freaking products we have. So yeah, leave those numbers down below. I love hearing it. I love hearing about your journeys and everything. Yeah, I love like the conversation and everything. This is like always my favorite video to film, always my favorite video. But I always only do my inventory once a year because I just make so little progress within that year. So this is like, it's just like the most fun and the most like long awaited. And every time I get to October when I do my inventories, like it just feels like so cool and so fun. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a comment, subscribe, like, and I hope you all have amazing days. And happy October. I have this little guy right here. I love him. He's from my childhood. I've had him, like my mom had him, and I remember being little and like playing with the little stuffy, and then we got him out of the storage this year, and I took him to my apartment because I said, I want my childhood Halloween pack. So anyways, yeah, I hope you all are doing well and having a good October, and yeah, have a good day. Bye.